Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories. First one is from Tigray. Big news from Tigray. It seems that TPLF people, even some Tigray journalists, they want to silence everyone or anyone who criticize them. No tolerance, no freedom to speak. A man who fought on front lines during the Tigray war has been kidnapped. 2 days ago, the man posted in a social media post, he said that his arrest warrants had been issued. Confirmed now, the man has been kidnapped. Who is he? Secondly, Amhara regional president Arega Kabbede was interviewed around 48 hours ago. Two important points from his interview. He talked about the situation in Amhara. He talked about the Panos narrative. He talked about Oromia government. Let's start from Tigray, viewers. There were some journalists in Tigray who shared very factual information about Tigray war during the war. And some of them fought on front lines. They were TDF back then, but they were basically journalists. I don't know if this man knows me or not, but I know him very well because I have been following his views about the war, etc. The man's name is Desai Ashenafi. He is from southern Tigray. A few months ago, when TPLF was not in control of southern Tigray, he was not based in Tigray. He was not based in southern Tigray. But when Tigray fighters entered southern Tigray a few months ago, he was one of the first people who went to his home. He was in Alamata. Since then, he's been there. He's a staunch supporter of Getachew, very critical of Debrecen, and sometimes criticizes Tigray military as well, Tigray generals. Around 72 hours ago, not 40 hours, 72 hours ago, he published a post. He said that he had learned that his arrest warrants had been issued and he could be arrested. But he said that he was not scared. He said, we fought for a democratic Tigray, a Tigray where there is freedom to speak, freedom to write. We won't let dictators dictate terms. We'll speak no matter what happens. He said that 72 hours ago. Yesterday, he was abducted. Who abducted him? Well, the man clearly accused the Bratzian Wing people. In his post, he said that the Bratzian Wing TPLF leaders had issued his arrest warrants. Two important points. Firstly, he was arrested, he was kidnapped rather, because his arrest has not been confirmed so far, not officially confirmed. He was kidnapped in southern Tigray. He was based in Alamata, I think. So he was kidnapped from Alamata or surrounding area, but he was kidnapped from Raya, from southern Tigray. It means that the Bratzian Wing people has their reach, though their stronghold is northern Tigray, parts of central Tigray, but they can take action in southern Tigray, which is the stronghold of Getachew. Secondly, who kidnapped him? What we have learned is that military is involved in his kidnapping. He is being kept at a military camp. It means the pro Debrecen wing members of security forces of Tigray arrested Desai Shinna. His arrest has not been confirmed so far, but it's alarming. It shows that Debrecen wing people and Tigray channels, they are not willing to tolerate any criticism. The man very vocal. He used to share information about uh, meetings, about internal discussions in TPLF, in TDF. He used to share information about Tigray security forces, to share information about Gitacho's meetings as well. He had good sources, I believe. Uh, Maybe that is why now he has been kidnapped. Journalists, only those journalists in Tigray can work who are uh, pro Debrecen, you can say, or pro military. Anyone who questions the two groups going to be arrested. Gitacho group, Gitacho's government is helpless, it seems. He was extremely pro Gitacho. Gitacho could not protect his activists. That just shows how fragile the Gitacho government is. I have been saying Gitacho government is losing ground. It is becoming paralyzed. You're seeing now that Western wing people are taking action on Gitacho group's activists. Desai was definitely an activist. Uh, I called him a journalist, but he was an activist. He used to say that clearly, that he wanted change in Tigray. So sometimes activists do cross lines, cross deadlines, because they want to achieve objectives. Sometimes the information shared is exaggerated, but this is what he was. Uh, if he shared any wrong information, if he spread any lies, it should be made public. You cannot just kidnap people to silence them. Secondly, viewers, Araga Kabede, Amhara regional president, was interviewed around 48 hours ago. The man, in a way, blamed the incidents in Oromia for the conflict in Amhara. He said ethnicity based attacks are the reason behind Fano's narrative, which Fano is using to gain support from people. Obviously, he was talking about attacks on Amharas, especially in the Oromia region or in other parts of Ethiopia, but mainly in Oromia region. Indirectly, he accused the groups in Oromia, whether it's Oromia government or others, they are indirectly fueling the conflict in Amhara. They are giving uh, propaganda points to Fano fighters to build a narrative. Secondly, he ruled out the possibility of involvement of Oromia regional government in attacks on Amharas in Oromia. He said, yes, we are holding talks with the government on several levels. Federal government is involved as well, but Oromia government is not involved in these attacks. It was good to hear, by the way, that did not try to create regional tension between the two regions. These presidents have to be very careful in their public statements. But when you say that ethnicity based attacks are the reason behind the conflict in Amhara, then the Oromia government's responsibility is to identify the people behind these attacks. Some Oromia members of parliament, Oromia Prosperity Party members of parliament, they've been accusing the government and government backed militias of being involved in ethnicity based attacks. So Aragakabede should explain that as well. And maybe Oromia government too. Oromia government, though it claims to be very strong, I think it's not as strong as it's portrayed. Kidnapping for ransom, gold mining disrupted, attacks on Orthodox Church followers, attacks on Amharas, attacks on people who enter Oromia from Amhara, kidnapping for ransom. I can go on and on. It means that the government needs to improve his writ in the region. Thank you for watching.